Bridgerton is a period drama set in 1813. It quickly rose to the most watched Netflix show in 76 countries and currently has 83 million viewers. Now with season 2 complete, fans are definitely wanting even more while they wait for the third season. Today, we're gonna show you some funny bloopers and interesting behind-the-scenes clips of the show. First up, the outfits. We all know that one of the things that makes Bridgerton so great is the amazing costumes. Costume designer Sophie Cannell tells us what must be done in order to create each piece within the show. It's not just the dress they have to design for every character in every scene. In fact, all of their accessories also have to be created to perfectly fit that specific outfit and the designated occasion for when it will be worn. She said each costume for women even has a set of gloves. It has a set of shoes, a set of jewelry. Sophie Cannell goes on to talk about the process behind the final dresses we see on the show. It takes a lot of passion and energy. We're not surprised. The outfits are done with such meticulous detail and thought. That's not all. She also tells us how before the dress makes it on the big screen, it takes at least 3 fittings to be absolutely perfect. And let's not forget, each costume also needs the perfect hair and makeup to go with it and complete the look. Next, what happens before filming? In this clip, you can see 3 of the Bridgerton men having some fun. This video was recorded when the crew was waiting to start filming and these guys were doing a test scene and they randomly burst into song, surprising fans from all over the world with their beautiful voices. We've all heard so many versions of Can't Help Falling in Love, but we have to admit this one has captured our hearts. These guys seem like they must be good friends away from the camera too. They could even have their own choir. Now for working with animals. Even though most of us haven't ever worked on a set, we can imagine how working with animals would be pretty interesting and tricky. If you think about it, the one thing any decent English man or woman should know how to do is ride a horse. The truth is that Lord Anthony Bridgerton's riding skills on the screen are all faked. He's so terrible at it that Jonathan Bailey's horse riding skills even got him the title of the one cast member most likely to make everyone else break character too because of how hilarious it'd be to watch him. Up next, off-screen chemistry. Do you, like most fans of the show, love watching Kate and Anthony together? You can't deny that the chemistry between actors Jonathan Bailey and Simone Ashley is extremely engaging. It's just as intense even behind the scenes. Take a look at this clip of the two dancing to a song by Earth, Wind and Fire. Their chemistry is so insanely spot on in the show that they look even happier and more comfortable with each other in the behind the scenes dance session. It's amazing how these dances develop into the beautiful choreographed performances in the final cut. Fans of the show, and especially those who ship these two, just have to see this one. And now, onto the elegant balls. What would Bridgerton be without its opulent and beautiful balls? We all love to sit back and watch our favorite characters dance together, accepting their chemistry through their movements. You can definitely tell though, choreographers, actors, directors, and crew members really put their heart and soul into perfecting these balls while making sure that they all move the story straight forward while being exquisite representations of the characters and their feelings for one another. Character Chris Van Dusen talks about the significance of these moments. I think the ball scenes are essential to the show. Of course, there's dancing, and there's music, and there's sumptuous costumes, and amazing set design, but they also tell a story. Every ball in the show is extremely detailed and points towards the interweaving plots of its character. Next is snacking on set. Harriet Keynes was caught hanging out behind the scenes while the crew was setting up to begin filming. She's in the back of a big group of people just hanging out till it's her turn on screen. We've all heard that it's good to be quiet on set. Harriet, however, was the exact opposite. She's standing in the background loudly chewing on potato chips and rustling in the bag freely too, while dressed in her costume. Fortunately, it seems as though she hasn't disturbed anyone, but it's pretty funny to hear her loud crunching in contrast with the extreme silence on the set in front of her. Now, for off-camera friendship. Most of us think that Hollywood actors probably don't really care about one another more than being co-workers. They are simply there to get the job done, then go home and relax. But for the cast of Bridgerton, you'd be wrong to think that because these guys are quite tightly knit group of friends too, and it's always amazing to see them all together. Fun fact, the cast of the show had to spend 6 weeks in a boot camp before filming began, so they could properly learn how things were back then. In these clips, we can see see the entire cast and crew wishing Nicola Coughlan a happy birthday behind the scenes. They begin with her being given a tiny cake while getting her makeup done in the room, but later on they also sing her happy birthday while they're on set, getting prepared to begin filming. Looks like they really care about her and they just wanted to make sure she knew how much they appreciated her on her birthday. Now for the intimacy coordinator. Bridgerton doesn't avoid sex scenes. Anyone who's seen the show can tell you that, but there are some unusual tricks sometimes needed to make the moments more believable. Elizabeth Talbot is an intimacy coordinator, and she works on set to make the actors feel more comfortable. One of the tricks in getting them to loosen up even involves a half-inflated netball. If there are two people doing a sex scene, the rule is they must have 3 barriers separating them, and there are certain acts where a half-inflated netball can allow for movement without having to connect physically, she revealed during an interview with Radio Times. Up next is new hair. When Golda Rosheuvel first got to see her new Bridgerton headpiece, she was in the makeup room and the crew had just completed their work on her when they thought it was time to look at her new hair. They wanted to see her authentic reaction, so they asked her to close her eyes as they put it on her. It's hard to make out whether she was excited, worried, or just confused. Perhaps a mixture of all three, but we have to admit the hairpiece looked great on her. Now onto the shot caller. In this clip, we can see that Jonathan Bailey was asked to tell everyone and announce the next scene, but he seems to have messed things up while doing so, and as a result, we can't really make out which scene this was supposed to be. But you can see Daphne just chilling in the background, and it really looks like she would have been the star of the show at this moment. But whichever scene it was, something tells us it's safe to say Jonathan won't be able to call the scene again. Next is random dancing. In this clip, we can see the cast and crew just having some fun and enjoying themselves dancing in one of the many ballrooms. They aren't rehearsing for anything here, they were just blowing off some steam in between shots. This is a pretty wholesome clip that fans will definitely enjoy. And finally, yellow lines. Lastly, we'll show you one blooper that actually made it into the final cut. The show's pilot episode, we see a horse-drawn carriage turning a corner on a cobblestone road. It actually seemed ideal for a series set in the 1800s, but the road had yellow lines painted on one side of it. These lines came around the same time cars did, both of which were way after the time period of the show is set in. We don't know if this was intentional or not, but it's definitely not historically accurate. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and let us know in the comments what you think. Check out our other videos and subscribe to be a part of the fun. Make sure to click the notification icon so you can see our new videos as soon as they're uploaded. See you next time.